Welcome back to Adobe Live. It is tea time. Does everyone have their tea?
Yeah.
Doug, where's your tea?
Oh,
you do have tea.
I have a sweet tea right here.
Woo. Okay, yeah, sweet tea. I got
Cheers.
herbal tea. Cheers. Everyone go get your hydration. We are here live on Behance. be.net/live is the best place to watch. And I am here with Doug Gomes. Welcome back, Doug.
Thank you.
It's your third day here, and it's
Yes.
the last day. This is actually the last stream of the week.
Yeah.
So sad. It's exciting.
Sad and excited.
Bittersweet, as I always say. How has live streaming been for you?
It's been really fun, actually. First time.
Yay.
And I was nervous in the beginning, but now I'm very comfortable. Thanks to you guys.
Yay. Yes, everyone is so sweet. Jose is drinking Japanese green tea. Awesome.
Green tea is good.
Yeah, I usually opt for a matcha in the afternoon, but you know.
Love the matcha.
Things change. Yes, so good. Awesome. Well, everyone say hello to Doug. Doug, if people have not met you before, because I haven't watched the streams, maybe you can introduce yourself really quick.
So first of all, hi to everybody that's coming back. And then for the new people, I'm Doug from San Diego / for Brazil.
Yeah.
And I'm a graphic designer, illustrator, and that's it. We're here.
That's all that you're about. You're also a waterman.
Yep.
As we've talked about, a man from the water, loves to surf.
Yeah. Big lover, a surf lover.
Surf lover. And that has to do with what you've been working on for the last couple days.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe we can walk through the first 2 days and what you have been doing.
Alrighty. So we went from day one. We went through the sketch process. We selected what we were going through, the concept, and then day one as well, we started the line work. And then I explained a little bit how is my process to decide how to build the whole, composition of the design, taking consideration how is going to be the printing process and all that.
Right, because this is going to be a t-shirt.
That's going to be a t-shirt design, that's right. And then on day two, I added some shading, some extra fine details to the artwork. We moved forward to the color part. We select some color palettes. And until the end of the day two, I added a few details with colors. I didn't quite finish yet yesterday. But so I had a little bit of homework. So actually today you guys are gonna see the final design.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice and polished for us. And you are using an iPad Pro and Illustrator Draw.
Yeah.
Cool. It's a free mobile app. It works on both Android and Apple mobile devices, tablets, and phones. And if you have a CC subscription, you can send your draw files straight to Illustrator. It'll open up magically, and it will be a live vector file.
That's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show how I usually do, which I work a lot with these multi-platforms. Always like to finish my designs on Illustrator, on computer, and we're gonna finalize the design a little bit there, add some details to the t-shirt to be retail ready. I'll explain a little bit of the printing process, what to take and what not take in consideration, and we're gonna go from there.
Very cool. I think apparel design, graphics for apparel, is something that you don't really understand it until you do it yourself. There's a lot of things that you need to keep in mind, like number of colors and what kind of inks you're gonna use. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Correct.
Yeah, and before we jump into that, I want to remind you all in chat, if you have not been watching, we are doing portfolio reviews today. So for the last 30 minutes of the stream, we're going to be reviewing 2 portfolios. So if you're on Behance, be.net/live, watching right now, if you look above the chat, which is over here, there should be something that says portfolio reviews, a little tab. Click over to that. There'll be information on how to submit your portfolio. We're really looking for a full filled out Behance portfolio that is focused on illustration. We're gonna be looking at all of it, your branding, your different projects, how you tell a story, and hopefully giving you some good feedback. So get those submitted, and we will be looking at them at about 4:30. So an hour and a half. Cool?
Alrighty, sounds
cool.
Good.
So let's see what you have worked on since day one.
Cool. So I'm gonna kind of do like a retrospective. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
And
a retrospective, yeah.
Yeah. So in a way that I'm gonna start turning the layers on so you guys can see where we came from and where we are right now.
Right.
So here's our sketch. I have a lot of layers on here, a lot of ideas going on. As you guys can see, who was watching yesterday, we end up with a big sun in the center, but it's cool that we came from this sketch where we have tons of ideas going on. And then as I explained, actually I throw a lot of things in there, and I decided later what, and I start I put a lot of things and I start erasing, keep things more simple and cleaner as well. So basically it's a lot to fill details, it's better.
That's really... Sorry, go ahead.
No, less is always better.
Yeah. I was going to say, when you first started this, I thought the final design was going to have all of these, like the fog and the birds and the shinies and the sun. And you'll see the final design is a little bit different.
Sounds good. All right. So, as I said, we start with the sketch, and then we start the line work. Let's see here. We did the line work.
Nice.
We did the stroke. I added the little fee in the back.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yep. And then we added the details.
Whoa, it makes all the difference.
Yep. And then we add the background. I even tried to add the fog last night.
Oh, cool. I like that.
But it didn't work really well the way I wanted, so I turned that off. Didn't want that one, so I add the birds.
More birds.
Yeah. So at this point, we were already moving to the colors, so I'm just gonna turn all the sketch layers off.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna move with the I even tried the sun this way. I kind of liked it, but then I think that it kind of took away from the main guy, so I decided to move forward with the big sun in the center.
I like that too.
We add the water with the fill highlights of the sun hitting the water. And let me see.
Oh, shadow.
I added the shadow of the grays at this time.
Yes.
And a few details to knock out the shadow a little bit. So at this time, as we have the design right here, we can take it to printing. Okay, it's ready to go. We have a 3 colors design, which is the black, the orange, the coral, and the teal. Okay, and for those who are asking the what about the gray? You can take it as a 4 color. Okay, when we talk about number of colors, we're talking about screen printing. Okay,
yes.
DTG, which is direct garment, it's not about colors. It's about quantity, because it's almost like a paper printer that literally prints on the shirt. So
any color.
Yeah, any color. So it doesn't matter. You can print a photograph, perfect one.
Right.
So for those who are asking about the gray actually is a half tone, and basically is a black, okay, with the lower opacity. Basically, it's like getting a solid black and make it transparent. Okay. On screen printing, we have this software and this printer that's when you output the films, to burn the screens, it reads the low opacity blacks and transform to halftone. Halftone are basically when you see those dots, on when you print something, it's a little dot. If you get really close to the design, little dots that the lower opacity makes the dots spread out more.
Right.
So you can see the background more. So, that's a good trick if you want to make your design to look more colors, okay? And keep working with the minimum to keep the cost low of the final product.
Totally, and you could also layer colors on top of each other in halftones to make new colors.
Correct, yeah. If you layer yellow and the blue, you're going to make it green. It's almost like a mind trick.
Right.
So, yeah. So this is the final design. And I hope you guys liked it. I did some homework.
Thumbs up, looks done.
And I might try a little things. I want to erase some things right here. So in the first 15 minutes, I might just do a little tweak right here.
Cool.
And we're going to send to Illustrator.
Yay.
Sounds good.
We're going to see some magic happen.
Awesome.
So chat, if you have any questions for Doug, we're going to be here until 5 p.m. Pacific time. So in about an hour and 50 minutes, we'll be done. So ask questions. We have Doug here. He has a background in apparel design, also branding, all kinds of things. JC says, I slept on my Photoshop pillow last night.
Oh,
JC, do you really have one? Or are you lying? I bet you really have one. Chat, let us know if you've ever won one of the giveaways. I want to know what swag you got, if you like it, if you wear it proudly. Jared says, you're my hero.
There you go, Jared.
Hey, Jared.
Big fan, watching all the 3 days.
Yeah. So much support. Love
Thank
it.
you, buddy. See you soon.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
So I'm going to probably add a little bit of the shading because what I was thinking, it might be like a, like a mistake, but I'll try anyways. I wanted to give a little bit of the look of the, the hand going inside the water.
Oh.
So so when like an object, goes inside the water, it gets a little darker. It's a reflection under the water. So I'm gonna try to give that effect.
Right.
If it doesn't work, if it doesn't look good, I'll just keep it that way. I think it's already good to go. It's just some minor details,
Yeah. Cool. Augustin says that they've been watching the replays, but they haven't actually been able to watch live, and they just wanted to say hello. Hello.
Hey.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Let's try this now.
Tiana says, I won a pair of socks that I show off every time I wear them and a graphic design notebook that I love. Heck yeah, Tiana. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Which socks did you win? XD socks? Multiple app socks? Oh, Cody won the 3 prints. Super cool. We gave away those prints today. Yes. We're giving them away today. Surprise!
They look awesome though.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a giveaway in about 15 minutes. And like Cody said, we'll be giving away these 3 prints. We've got Robzilla's Mr. T, Christine Heron's travel tags, and Jingwei's pool party. Super nice. The cool thing about these is that they were all created here on Adobe Live. I think you just got mini prints.
Yeah, I got
these,
it.
Right?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yes.
I'm probably gonna hang on the wall in my office.
Oh, heck yeah, with your new pen. It'll be
Yeah,
perfect.
got a new pen.
So you won't only win that. If you win this giveaway, you will also win 1 Illustrator lapel pin. Super cool, shiny, would look great on your jacket.
That's awesome.
And an Illustrator sticker. Put it on your laptop, your notebook. So 1 lucky winner will win all 3 of those things. That'll be in about 15 minutes. And the way that you enter the giveaway is all you need to do is be signed in on Behance, be.net/live. That's where we are right now. If you're chatting in the chat box, you're already signed in, you're good to go. If you're just watching this on your second monitor and you've never said anything, go ahead and sign in. You got 15 minutes. In about 15 minutes, we will be asking you to say something in chat. Maybe we'll ask you a question.
Awesome.
Yes, maybe Doug will think of a question that we can ask you. You got 15 minutes, so
Alright.
no worries.
Cool. So I'm gonna still adding some shadings right here, see if it's gonna work.
Sweet.
And do you mind if I make a question to the audience too?
You're allowed to do whatever you want.
Awesome. So, what do you guys think? I added the right here. Sorry, I added it right here. Like in the water. I want to try to keep that gray, reflection of the hand going in a little bit. But you guys tell me if it looks good. If I should keep it or if I should remove it.
Yeah.
You guys make the call. I like it with and without it, so it kind of does. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. If you guys think it's gonna be better without it, I'll remove it.
Cool. So you're talking about the shadow right below the hand as it goes into the
this
water.
area right here. You guys can see.
Oh, sweet. There's pink too. Didn't notice that.
Is the highlights of the sun. So okay. In the meantime, while people,
Yeah, they'll let us know. There is a little bit of a delay, so we'll know in about 20 seconds what they think.
Yeah, cool.
I know what I think, but we'll see
Awesome.
what they Augustin likes my hairstyle. Thanks. Yeah. It's called the second half of the day. Gotta change your hairstyle. Carlotta says, keep it. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
Esther says, looks awesome.
Your hairstyle or the shade?
Oh, thanks, y'all. Your design.
Awesome.
Desiree likes the shadow.
Cool. Keep the shadow then.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what I was going to say? I was going to say, get rid of it.
Get rid of it?
But I'm not the boss.
Let's see.
Oh, Rasim says remove the gray. Yes, you're on my team, Rasim.
2 to 1, 2 to 2. Okay.
Is it on its own layer, or are you working on your gray layer?
I'm working on a gray layer.
Gotcha.
Gonna keep everything the same. They're not touching, so that's fine. If I need to just erase it.
Right.
You know, smarter. It would be smart if I just could separate every single thing, and be easier, you know, to work with them. But it's fine.
Cool.
I think it's gonna look good.
Sweet. Yeah, Fernando says he thinks it looks good with or without the shadow.
Awesome. Awesome, Fernando.
So we have an opinion in the chat. Do you think that screen printing is still viable, even though there's other options such as DTG or easier options?
So it depends your approach, though. If you are just, you know, a customer, you know, and you need just a few shirts, I think DTG is going to, you know, it's going to suit you better. You know, because screen printing, it's faster. It prints way faster. So there are minimums, you know, that you need to meet in order to start production. So let's say you want to go, you like screen printing. Okay, let's take it this way. If you just like the outcome of screen printing, you're gonna be forced to at least like to go to a shop and either like buy at least 12 shirts or 24 or 48, depend on the shop. DTG is different. You can get one shirt. You're probably gonna pay the price of like any retail T-shirt, you know, there like $20, $30.
Right.
But it, you know, at least you don't need to get like a bunch of shirts that you don't know what you're gonna do with it.
That's true.
With the same design. Plus, it doesn't make sense you getting a bunch of them when you don't know if you're gonna sell it or you're gonna wear them because you need to decide on sizing and style and all that. It's a lot more into screen printing than actually DTG. I think the industry is gonna move towards DTG anyways. I've seen like machinery that actually does half and half. So it prints the base, white base, and then moves to the DTG printer. And actually they use the white base as like a paper, and it actually prints anything you want on it. And it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I love those hybrids.
Yeah.
Mixing the old and the new.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Dorina says, I want to use this as an opportunity to thank you for the awesome Photoshop pillow. One of our winners from yesterday, I'm assuming. But congrats, Dorina. Hope you enjoy it. You're a lucky, lucky lady. Everyone is always seeing them in the studios, and they're like, can I have one? Can I get one of those? Where'd you get those? They're a hot commodity.
Yeah. I've been asking around. All right.
Ooh, a little white highlight. Like it.
Yeah, I'm fixing a little bit too.
In chat, if you weren't here for the first 2 days, we had giveaways where the people would win a t-shirt with this print on it, which was really amazing. Super exciting. Ooh, Desiree, that's a great question. She says, Doug, what is your biggest advice for those who are looking to get into t-shirt design specifically?
All right, that's a good question actually. So since I started designing, the t-shirt, you know, the custom apparel industry was always my goal. Okay, so I had a lot of reference from skateboarding and the shirt. Kind of goes with it, you know. The graphics from the skateboarding was so insane. It was so sick that, you know, it was kind of like an outcome transferring them to the shirt. So, plus back in the days, we used to, you know, do a one color prints in our garage.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a movement of like, it was like almost like an artist, thing back in the days, But if you really want to, learn a little bit more and get to know what it takes, to how to build a design for a shirt, I would say, look around, like look at the brands you like. The most of the times the brands you like are the brands that actually gonna, it's gonna like inspire you the most. So you start learning on details and then what it can do with it. What are the options, and again, learning on the process. Like if you're gonna be printing as a screen printing or DTG, depending which process you're gonna choose, you might have to adapt your design towards that specific process. We call it like, if I'm gonna design something like this one, this is a screen printing friendly design. Okay, yeah. So I always, usually like screen printing it's like that, the old lady that complains about everything. It's like, it's so picky. So I like to measure like, my designs by screen printing and embroidery. So if it works towards that way, basically it's gonna work for anything else.
Right.
So I would say that would be my, advice. If you try and learn everything, how it works, how, from beginning to end, I would say. Yeah,
totally. And I think, Desiree, since it's a design that's going to go on like a three-dimensional object that's then going to go on a three-dimensional person, you need to think about the shape of your design in that way.
Yes.
Like, will it work on a torso? Where am I going to place it? Like, for example, on a left chest t-shirt like this one, like how far from the collar are you going to place things? Or is it too big? Is it too small?
Yeah.
Printing things out to scale, putting it up on a model.
Yeah.
It's
Not
really
every
important.
time like as big as possible the shirt will look good, you know. And plus sometimes you're gonna have different shirt sizes, and you need to find that fine line where it's gonna work through all the sizes. Like the right measurement.
Right, or is it gonna have to scale up for larger or smaller sizes?
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting. I also think, Desiree, that it also depends like what kind of t-shirts you want to get into designing. Is it more like one-off, more fine art kind of t-shirts, or are you looking to work or build a large brand?
Yeah.
Like if it is a large brand, who are your customers? What kind of stuff do they like? Do they like loud graphics, or do they like more subtle ones? Like what would they feel comfortable wearing?
Very good point, yeah. You gotta find your specific audience to see what they like the most. For example, with my personal brand, the Chaos that we were talking about before, I don't have like graphic tees like that yet,
It seems pretty clean, like what you've worn so far.
I like to, sometimes I really love the graphic tees. Even when I draw them, I used to get a little tired of it. It's kind of too much every day.
Yeah.
So I would say it's not an everyday t-shirt for me. But like this one, that I designed it, or like something more like this one color, it's a everyday, you can even like go out with it, or like go to a party, to a club, whatever. It will like, it will work that way. You're not gonna get tired. But like this one, it's so like calls so much attention, so you're not gonna be even to probably use twice the shirt. Yeah, I would say.
Right.
So it all depends on your audience.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is definitely a shirt that someone who isn't comfortable wearing a graphic on their t-shirt, they might be like too scared to wear it. Like it draws too much attention to them. Although yesterday when you were picking colors, you worked on picking kind of soft colors. So imagine this, but like with bright neon colors. It might be difficult for some people to wear. They might not feel comfortable.
Exactly.
It's really interesting. I love apparel graphics.
Yeah, I love to.
So cool, so cool.
I have a few friends in Brazil. They work with that too. So kind of we all came from the same background. It's really fun.
It's really cool that you all started small, like drawing or painting on your surfboards and your skateboards and making shirts in your garage.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
So I'm pretty much almost done with this. So are we keeping the shading on the bottom of the water, or are we gonna remove it?
I think chat says they want to keep it.
Okay, let's keep it then.
Although me and my small band of people say, get rid of it.
I'm kind of thinking of removing.
Oh, shoot. All right, chat, you have one more chance. What do you think?
More chance. It's a lot going on down there, so.
Right.
I can even give you guys a, you know.
Yeah, give us a little taste of what it would be like. Ooh.
So if you do that, everything at once, you can undo and redo.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not gonna miss anything.
Smart.
I love the hover cursor. All right, so you guys tell me now. With or without it? I mean, without it, with it, or without it?
With it?
So that's a cool trick like I found out like very recently. So if you hold the undo arrow, it actually opens up the two of them, the redo and
That's
undo.
awesome.
So you can go.
Mm-hmm. There's so many different ways to do it. You can do the swiping gestures on the screen. You can tap.
What do you guys think?
Two people say remove. Some people are wondering, they want to see it both ways, so that's what we're doing. Patrick says without. Ooh. Everyone's saying without now. You guys are wishy-washy. That's what you are.
Without it? Okay.
I think that's it.
Without it. Without it.
Cool, we tried it. Yeah, thank you, chat. Tried it, but it didn't work.
Sounds good. Just gonna clean up a little bit.
Yeah, and it still has a little bit of shadow down there.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Okay, so that's it, guys. We're gonna be ready to move with the Illustrator on my laptop.
Hooray!
Just gonna add something really quick right there. My signature.
Perfect.
2018.
One of a kind.
There we go.
Boom.
All right. So, do you mind if I just move this a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
We're gonna hop over to the computer now, and it's actually about time for the giveaway.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we'll tap this to turn it on. Awesome. And I'm just gonna go, oh, there we go. I'm gonna go to full screen real quick to just show you all what's our, is the file already sent to Illustrator?
Not yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna show.
Okay.
You want me to do that?
No, I was just gonna, maybe we should start it. No, we'll do it after the giveaway.
Okay.
Play it dangerous. All right, chat. If you want to win these 3 prints, we got the travel tags, the pool party, Mr. T, and an Illustrator lapel pin. That's not a good view of it at all. There you go. Super cool. Whoa. And a sticker. All you have to do is be logged in on Behance and say something in chat. Get the hype rolling. The trains are moving. What question should we ask them that they have to answer?
Like a tricky question?
Doesn't have to be hard.
No.
You could ask them like their opinion on something.
Okay. Sounds good. Regarding the design, let's see what we can do. What size you guys think is going to be suitable for all shirt sizes?
Ooh.
Okay, I have in my mind the answer, so I'm going to give you 3 options.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 8 inches wide.
8 inches wide.
Okay. 2, 10 inches wide. Or 3, 12 inches wide.
So 8-ish, 10-ish, 12-ish.
Yeah.
What do you think? From what I know about designing t-shirt graphics, let me see if I can think.
Yeah, you guys got to remember that's gonna be a 1 design size for small girls tank tops up to 3XL guys short sleeves. So take in consideration all of that.
I know what I think.
Yeah.
I only designed women's t-shirts, so I don't know a ton about guys, but I can guess.
Well, everybody's just answering right there.
Is that the rain? Or is that everyone's response in the chat?
Right.
Oh. All right, cool. So Adobe will run some magic code, pick a random winner, and maybe you can let us know what the answer is. What are you thinking? Or are you going to tell us later?
Want me to tell right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the right answer will be 8 inches. Okay.
I thought 10.
Because 10 inches, we got to think that this is a taller design. Okay.
It is tall.
So there are shirts that's not too tall to place a design. So if you make it 10 inches, probably it's gonna be too tall.
Right. It would
For
be like
let's say, usually girls
13 or 12.
tank tops have a little bit of a deep neck right here.
Yeah. So it'd be like on their belly.
Yeah, it wouldn't look good. You want the design to be, every time you place a design on a shirt, you want to look balanced. It's not just like, I want as big as possible. And I came across clients like that all the time. So we need to put our expertise, to help them get the best out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8 inches is the call, and then might bring the design to almost like 10, 11 inches tall. And we'll check on Illustrator when I send it.
Really cool. And another thing that, especially when we're talking about women's tank tops, when I was working on t-shirts, we usually put a design starting about 2 inches from the neckline. So it was like about there, which you wouldn't really think. Sometimes you think to like go all the way up to the top or drop it down low, but 2 inches. All right, so the winner is of the giveaway,
Laura Vargas.
Laura, you're the winner.
Yep.
Congratulations. You win all this stuff.
Good
You
job,
got
Laura.
Yes, 3 prints,
Nice
the pin, the sticker. Very
nice pen.
cool. It is a nice pen. So Adobe Live will be contacting you in your Behance messages. Keep on the lookout for that. And let's jump over to Illustrator.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, that's one of the features that I get the most excited about, because, man, it was such a hassle transferring something to something. And then since I got the Creative Cloud apps plus my iPad, I found out this awesome feature. So basically, it's just a button you need to hit. I don't know if you guys see. Is that right to just show this one?
To here. And are you on the same Wi-Fi on both?
Okay. Oh yeah, I need to. Mesh.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And mesh on here too?
You should. Can I just go back real quick?
Yeah. Pop over to your, or my computer.
I'll see you. Give me 1 second, guys.
This is Doug's portfolio.
Go ahead.
Isn't it cool? If you want to go follow him on Behance, behance.net/DougMG. Awesome branding as well as illustration. I personally love this one.
Okay, I need the password for Mesh.
Got you.
Thank you.
Oops, I spelled it wrong. Did I have the magic words?
You got it. Thank you. All
Boom.
right.
Yay, congrats to Laura. She's really excited in the chat. All right, so
Awesome.
we are looking at your iPad now.
Yep. Let me just, everything's muted.
Oh, yeah.
I guess. So now I'm gonna just transfer everything I want. So first of all, what I like to do is like all the layers that I don't like it, okay, I kind of delete it. But before that,
Here, I'll go over to your computer real quick.
Thank you. I don't know how to do that though. Okay. My bad, guys.
No, it's okay.
Okay. So, okay, cool. So what I usually do is I try to, duplicate my project just in case.
Smart.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll duplicate it. Okay, so I did already, so you guys could see, non-destructive
Right.
workflow. So all right, so all the layers that we're not using it, like this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and delete it.
Gone. See ya.
So basically everything that's is turned off.
And you're doing this so that they just don't
Transfer to that.
Illustrator.
Yeah. Usually it transfers exactly as it is. It will be like hidden in Illustrator, and that'll be it. Okay, so let's do it. So you hit the top, the square with the arrow pointing up.
The share square.
Yeah. And then there is a little link right there on the top saying Adobe Desktop Apps and Adobe Illustrator CC. And just hit the button and you see the magic happen. Hopefully.
All right. Yes, this is always kind of scary to do on live streams, but
It said sent, so it should be opening anytime soon.
any second now. Chat, do you think it will open? If you've watched other Adobe, Let's try that. If you watched other Adobe Live sessions, sometimes it goes, sometimes it gets a little shy because it knows a couple hundred people are watching.
Yeah, now it's gonna happen because I wasn't on Creative Cloud.
Oh, okay, cool. It's sent on your iPad.
There we go.
Yes! We need to like play a little fanfare. Success.
Good job. So that's it.
Sweating.
So we got the, everything here that we wanted. Okay. So one thing is that, if you select things now, it's not gonna be grouped. So it's time to clean up a little bit. So you want, since I'm gonna, start from the point that it's gonna be a shirt printed as with the screen printing process, I need to make sure every color that are touching or laying on top of each other on my layers, we need to knock them out from each other so they don't lay on top of each other, because if that happens, the ink will change.
Yeah.
So basically, think as a flat design. There's nothing behind it. There's no layers. So one color will be just touching like this each other.
Yeah.
They can overlap or be on top of each other. Okay, so what I know is that this gray right here, okay, is...
Oh, that's cool.
The gray, I know it's probably on, it's probably on multiply. So what I do usually is I do a quick screen print, like how it is, because
screenshot. Gotcha.
yeah, like this. It's a small one because it might change the color when I change to normal instead of multiply.
Gotcha.
So I just place right here.
That's smart.
Yeah. So because you need spot colors to work with screen printing, okay? So when you start separating things, okay?
Cool, and while you are getting these separated, chat, I do want to remind you that we are going to be doing portfolio reviews in about an hour, about 50 minutes. You can see the timer over there. Ooh, my hands disappeared. Over there, we're going to be reviewing 2 portfolios, about 10 to 15 minutes each review. So if you're watching on Behance, look above the chat pod over there. You'll see something that says portfolio review, and you can submit your Behance portfolio through that. We're really looking for full filled out Behance portfolios that are based on illustration specifically. Awesome. Yes, so we're going to be looking at your project, how they tell a story, if there's concepts included, your branding, your About Me section, all of it. Going to give you a full appraisal.
That's cool.
Yeah, so get those submitted within the next 50 minutes.
All right, so just rearrange my stuff here real quick. Okay, so I want to make sure the gray, it's in multiply, so I get the 1 and then select all of it. And it is supposed to be. So multiply will be this color, okay, guys?
Okay.
Like, you see how it will look if we make it a multiply? So we don't want that feeling. So you want to, first of all, go Pathfinder and kind of unite all the path.
So nothing is laying on top of each other.
Correct, So let me just lock the background real quick.
Man, this is taking me back.
Yeah.
Back to the t-shirt days.
So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna select all of it. I'm gonna create a new document real quick.
Whoa, okay.
Sometimes I do quick,
What are you doing?
I'm trying to do something really quick here.
Sure.
So basically, look, that's without the background, that's how design will look like, okay?
Yeah.
So this is why we're not gonna use a dark background or a shirt.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna do a little trick right here to separate all the colors from each other. So I'm gonna do...
Okay, walk us through what you're doing.
So I'm gonna divide first. I use the Pathfinder a lot. Okay, so basically the divide, what's gonna do is gonna bring all the layers that's in the back on the front, gonna align them to the same thing, and they're gonna knock it out. So the layer that's on the top, foremost on the top, will remain visible, and whatever's in the background is gonna be erased.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna do a divide right here.
It's thinking.
Yeah. So then we're gonna use the wand.
Oh, magic wand.
Magic wand. Okay. To select all the colors. So I'm gonna start with the sun first and the highlights. So I cut it. Okay. Command X and Command Shift V to paste in place. Right. And I'm gonna unite it. Okay. So then I know that's clean.
It's just one shape.
One shape on. Okay. And then the same thing with the teal. I'm gonna cut it, paste in place, and I will unite it as well. Right? Same with the black. I'm gonna do. Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna unite it as well. There we go. I'm gonna make sure that the black's looking good.
And Jan Erik says, is this like merging layers in Photoshop?
Sort of. But you still can edit it though.
Yeah, that's true.
When you merge layers on Photoshop, that like you can, move stuff around. It's
Right.
that one shape only.
Yes, this is making just one shape, pretty much.
Yeah. For some reason, I did take two tones of gray right there, so I'm just gonna unite them. There we go. So then, once you unite everything, you need to do unite. Let me see one thing.
Referencing your original image. It's still open on his iPad, as you can see.
Okay, there we go. I got it, guys.
Get it.
Okay. So one thing that I forgot that I did was that I had this light gray on purpose.
Oh.
Okay, so basically the light gray, I would just want to erase it,
Cool. What was the purpose of it?
It was because I picked the background color just to knock stuff out while I was drawing here. So if you see like these details right here, it was kind of like a, highlights.
So that's just a paint. It's not the actual background.
Right. So we should be good now. Then you select all the colors manually, gray, blacks, and teals.
You're holding shift to
Holding
select
shift,
multiple.
yeah, multiple selection. And then I'll cut it again. And now that's one thing you need to take into consideration. Every time you work with Unite, they leave like ghost paths behind.
Oh, smart.
So when you blend things, this will count as a solid shape. So then when you blend it, unite them, it will fill in with the color. And that sometimes if it's small detail and you miss it, it screws up the whole design.
Oh no.
Yeah, so let's delete it. Bring it back to our board. Paste in place. And everything should be good. Looking good.
Perfect. Aaron is wondering, couldn't you get the same result doing select the same and fill or stroke? So like selecting the same color? Yeah, that's actually how we would do it when I was making t-shirts. We would select similar color and that's how we would separate them, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you can. The separation, this is just to clean up the design. So when it comes to the separation, the color separation process, it just makes it easier,
Yeah.
So then, it's good to revise a little bit, see if everything is in place, if you didn't, overlap anything. So if I move the orange now, you're gonna see where the orange was is like knocked out. So that's the look you wanted. Same with the gray. So if I move the gray, see.
Yes, we do not want inks layered on top of each other. We just want them butting up against each other.
Yeah, another good advice is like if you could keep each color on separate layers, it's better. I'm so used to this, so like I don't need them to do that anymore. So I know my process, my workflow. So,
Right.
But anyways, I would recommend for sure.
Yeah, that's how we did it.
Cool.
But we were sending it to like a factory overseas, so we're like, you cannot mess this up. We're gonna make it as easy as possible for
That's
you.
exactly how it works. So if you open the swatch right here, I think there's one. Okay, there's nothing there. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna create the color palettes and the spot colors to make sure we're gonna work with the the color, the precision of colors that we picked. And also, that's the hard part. You gotta make sure that you're gonna be working with CMYK or Pantone colors, okay? Because the point made is we're working with ink, okay? If you're going with screen printing, you gotta make sure they have this ink that will match, the colors you picked in your design. Otherwise, if you come up with an RGB, it doesn't exist. You know, it's two different color modes. Yeah.
Right. Do you have those Pantone books?
I do have on Illustrator. I can show how to pull that up.
Yes.
So what I do first, I create like a few circles. I know that's we're gonna use the gray as a halftone, so I don't need it to pick a gray.
Cool.
But I can show how to do that. That's no problem. So I know that total will be 4 colors if we need it. So 4. So first one will be black. Easy, you know.
And you're just using the color picker?
Yeah, you
Tapping.
select the shape, use the color picker, and click on the color you want to pick. So basically like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And teal. I'm just gonna make sure the gray is down right below the black. Just make sure. Okay. All right. So then I create a file called Creative Cloud Live project right here. So I'm just gonna transfer to this one.
Cool.
There we go. And then once, you know, we select all the spot colors, what I do usually is black we don't need it, we already have there, but like I select them and I create a new swatch right here. Mm-hmm. Okay, just make sure we have it, you know. Oh, that's really cool, that better. So we have right here on the, you know, our swatch palette. Mm-hmm. The same with this one. Okay. And I'll just create I'll create the gray just in case.
Cool.
But
cool.
actually that's a black. It's gonna be a lower opacity.
Yeah.
Black.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And Melissa, if you're wondering where to watch the replays, we also have replays right here on Behance. There should be a tab right above the video player that says replays.
I'm gonna go back to that document again, and I'm gonna create one more for the background, just, you know, if we need it.
Perfect.
Off-white. Alrighty. Cool. So we have all the spot colors right here. Okay, those are the ones we're gonna use for our design. I'm gonna do our artboard a little bigger than actually I have a ladder page. So if you hit Shift O, it selects the artboard straight so that you can, you know, edit the way you want it. Usually, where I used to work, we had like this transparency films where we all put, you know, the negatives. So in the end, when you separate colors and we burn the screens, we print these films, okay, these transparencies, and everything, it's black. For you know, for you guys that don't know how the screen printing process works, we need to burn screens. And in order to burn the screens, it goes to like a table, a light table. You put these films on top of this motion that covers the whole screen, and whatever the light goes through, it hardens the motion.
Right.
And whatever the film blocks is soft. It's almost like a stencil.
Yeah.
All right. So
totally.
when you wash the screens off, all the soft part goes away, and you can see the mask of your design right there for each color. So the size of the film, the reason I was saying that is 13 by 19.
Cool.
So I know that probably the size we want to do this design is going to fit on this artboard. Right?
Yes, it better.
Yeah. Right there. I have the background yet ready. Cool. So if you guys hit on the swatch on the little, you know, link on the top right there, a little on the bottom left, you're gonna open the swatch book, and if you go to which one is it? Color books, okay, you're gonna be able to find the Pantone color books. Usually on the screen printing, we measure by the coated. So you can go Pantone, solid coated, right? And it's gonna give you like a huge list.
Yeah.
This is like a night thing, you know, you need to match the Pantone, you know, close to the color you want by eye.
Yeah.
It sometimes is complicated.
Especially if you're doing it on a computer. It's better if
Yeah.
you can print it out and actually have like a Pantone book with
correct.
you.
Also, like if you go by the little square, sometimes it gets complicated. So if you go list, it might be easier.
Cool.
So it goes by order, so see? It's like the rainbow. So let's pick the coral. I know it's like a tone of pink with a little bit of orange, you know.
Ooh.
I gotta close.
Yeah.
So, see, I'm gonna duplicate like this right here, and I'm gonna pick probably this one or this one. It's pretty close, right?
Right.
Unless you have another option.
Maybe in the oranges. Oh.
Yeah, right there.
Or the one below. No.
Oh,
Oh, it's pretty close.
right. I think that will work though.
Nice. Did you ever take the color test for your eyes to see how?
Accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it.
How accurate are you?
I don't remember how was the results, but it was pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
So look, if you place them like one next to the other, you can see like how they contrast. So in order to pick the closest one, you would probably go, you know.
Ooh. That's pretty good.
I think that's a good, you know, close match. So let's
Yeah.
do the same with the teal now. So we're gonna go to blues and greens. That's
Yeah.
a combination of teal.
Right. Man, I used to spend hours looking at thread books and the Pantone book and like just laying threads over it and be like, is this the same? I don't know. I
There
feel
we
crazy.
go. I think that's the good one too.
Hey, yeah.
So we got two of them. Okay. So I'm gonna go and just delete the old ones. All right. And then what we're gonna do this time is we're gonna, you know, we have everything out of here. Like that's kind of crazy right now because every time you click the Pantone, you kind of transfer, you know, all the colors to swatch. So just keep track of it to not get, you know, lost, confused.
Great.
So basically what I do is like I know that the last teal is the teal I use, so I go ahead and
Delete that one.
yeah, delete it.
Nick, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and this one was this one.
Cool. So Nick says in Photoshop, you can click color libraries in the color picker and it will auto pick the closest Pantone color.
On Photoshop?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so we got our spot colors right here. Okay, that's very important. So we're gonna grab the design we're working with. Okay, Command C, Command V. Okay, so now let's see how big it's gonna be if you're gonna make it 8 inches.
Oh.
Keep lock that little lock right there for proportions. Then go 8 inches wide, and then let's just center it on the artboard. There we go. Make sure the background color is locked as well. So right now we have a design that's 8 inches wide by 11 inches tall. Exactly what I said.
Yeah.
So that's a good size for men and women, you know. That's a good way, you know, to keep the cost down if you want to make a production of your own designs, you know. Otherwise, for example, with screen printing, you're going to have to pay setup fees. Basically, the setup fees will cover one design with a specific size. If you want the same design with different sizes, you're going to have to pay extra for different setup fees, you know. Because every time you pay for a setup fee, we need to burn one screen.
Yep.
You know, so every time you change the size, you need more screens for the new sizes, you know. And there you go. So everything is here now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select a group first and select that orange and pick the new one we got it, okay? And then the same one with the teal, okay? And we got everything.
Cool. It looks really good on your screen, especially.
Yes, and actually now it's translating pretty well. Probably people are seeing the right color right now.
Yep.
I feel like I want to go with something lighter, you know, but that I might do these adjustments late, you know, a little bit later, you know. But if you guys want to just, you know, change a little bit, you click twice on the, you know, the Pantone. You might find like some way to do it. Make a little, you know, lighter, brighter. I messed it up, sorry. All right, so that's it. We got design good to go.
Cool.
Yeah, so you want me to show how we usually separate colors as well?
Let's do it all.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah, I've got about 30 minutes until we start the reviews.
Cool, sounds good. All right, so basically the design is two sides, okay? So that's a good thing. So once the design is two sides, you want to copy and paste them out of the artboard, right? And then let's just create a, there are ways to do it automatically on Illustrator, but that's a very like old school way to do it. It's for beginners, I would say, to separate the colors. So you will need a a registration mark. Okay, that will give the midpoint, the center point of the design. And the screen printers, they're gonna use that to align on the center of your shirt.
Yep.
So that way your design come out the way you want it. It's not crooked or it's not outplaced. So you can just create something like that.
Oh, cool.
Pretty cool, quick.
Oh, nice.
So then you go here, line selection, copy and paste it, same place, and then switch it like this. This is like a classic registration mark. Okay, make sure all the design is grouped because you're gonna have to align it. So basically, align it.
And you're using the align tools up in your top toolbar.
Correct.
Cool. Super helpful.
Yes, that's it's a must. Like for every designer, you need to be aligning things all the time. Then a cool feature for the CC too is every time you copy and paste it, like shapes like this, let's say, and you want them to kind of space, out from each other with the same,
Same
size
distance,
gap. Same the gap to be the same size. If you do by hand, and you move like closely to what you think it's gonna be, so these pink arrows will show saying that gap are the same for every shape in between the group.
Yeah, those are called smart guides.
Smart guides, correct.
And if you want to turn them on, I believe it's up in your view menu, and then there'll just be an option that says smart guides. Make sure there's a checkbox next to that. They're super helpful to find the middle. You almost don't even need the align tools anymore, but they're still really helpful.
So that's another thing that just happened to the design, which usually happens a lot of my design, is that the way I create, the perspectives and the movements of design, you kind of push the center, the natural center, off a little bit.
Yes.
So what that means, it's like because I have the pen, let's say, a little bit sticking out too far away from the design. It's considering the whole design to be from the pen all the way far left to the bridge right there on the bottom. But that doesn't mean it's the center. Okay. So the fake center, I would say.
Yeah.
Usually it's measured by any perfect shape you have in your design. If you have a special like the sun, something that's big and it's a perfect shape, usually you want to bring the attention design to that.
Yes.
So we need to, find the center for that circle a little bit. So I would say something around here, that's my center. So if you see the center goes all the way down here, all the way down here.
Yeah.
And
pretty much right to the center of that.
To the center of the water as well. So I know that's the center is gonna be balanced. All right. So once you're done with that, it's pretty quick now. We're gonna separate to as many colors. If you want to separate the colors, the design, I would say I'm gonna stay around the 3 colors.
Cool.
Okay?
And you just did Command D.
Command C, then Command. Actually, I selected. And then I dragged and dropped holding option so it duplicates. And then I hit Command D, that way it duplicates like the perfect spot, with the same distance between each other. Then we ungroup all of them. And then we delete on each of them. It's only gonna remain one color. Okay, so the first one, let's do the black. Okay, so I delete the orange and I delete the teal. So the second one, let's do the red. Okay, so I delete the gray, the black, and the teal. And the third one, let's do just the teal. Okay, so now you have this, all right? In order to output and print the films, you need to make everything black, okay? So let's just name them really quick so we don't get lost.
It was tiny.
Yeah.
It's got to be the right font. It's important.
I do just a random font because if it goes to different computers, it will read,
Yeah,
I mean, that's the basic one. I'm gonna do italic right here, bold italic right here. And I'm gonna align to the left just to see it on top of the registration right here.
Perfect.
how we are on time. Good?
Got about 30 minutes. 25, 30 minutes. Yeah, we're good.
All right, so there you go. So basically, let's do the same copy, okay, to this guy over here, and Command D to put it right there on the next one.
Easy.
So this one, okay, you can either like call orange or put the name of the Pantone. So if you want to find out the name of the Pantone that you used, it's this one right here, or this one.
Wait a second.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So the Pantone is 1625C. So just to make it easier for you to remember what I say, orange 1625C. And for the teal, okay, which is this one right here, just hover on top of it. We'll say Pantone 319C. So we'll say teal 319C. So that way you know like which one is it, because once everything is black, you're not gonna remember. It's hard. So we have the blacks, the orange, and the teal, right? Depending on the illustration, you might have to add like, beige, highlights, highlight white, because with the screen printing, it makes all the difference if you pass once or twice the ink. You make it thicker, you lose details. So in order to, instead of like do a 2 pass on the same color, you create like highlights of it. So that way you do a soft pass, and then if you need it, you go back and do a highlight. So we'll make that color to pop.
Gotcha.
So the black one, we're gonna make sure it's black, right? And this gray, we're gonna do all black as well, but then we're gonna go back to the, transparency, tab, and we're gonna make the opacity to almost, I would say, to give it that shading that we wanted, I would say 10%, okay? At this point, it doesn't need to look pretty. We call make to look ugly. Okay, it needs to be very contrasting, because the more difference you have with the opacity, with the solid colors, when you hit the ink on it, it's gonna be black, all black. So the black has a big, and it's a strong color. So when it lays on the light garment, it will still look dark, but if you make a very low opacity, the dots will be spread away by a lot, and it will give the shading, light shading effect that you're looking for.
Yep.
Okay. Same with this too. Make it all black. See, now we have everything black. This is called color separation. It's a very important step on separating your design. And as it is, we have 3 screens, and then each color will lay on next to each one, and your design is going to be just printed out perfect. That's for your screen printing. If it's for the DMG, which is direct garment, just send in your design how it is.
Yeah.
Exactly how it is.
Too easy.
To worry about. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah, you are blowing people's minds right now.
Just save it. Okay. Leave like this. And another cool thing to to brand it and make your product like retail ready. It's a very low cost of option, is to create an inside print neck tag. Instead of a manufacturer, the whole shirt where you put like sew tags like around the edges of your shirt, or even like the white ones that comes in your shirt right here in the back, you can remove them.
Checking mine.
Nowadays, people sell those blanks, which is the shirts with nothing printed on it, with the tearaway tags. So it's easy, it's like a paper, you just tear away, and you can print the inside neck tag.
Nice.
I already did some of them.
Cool.
Okay, and I'm gonna use as a example.
So you're saying that when you get the t-shirt, it has almost a mask where the neck would be? Or what is the tearaway piece?
The tearaway piece is this right here.
Right.
Okay, this plastic thing.
Yeah.
Not all the blanks, okay, that you buy have the tearaway. But if you want to brand it, to the T and keep the cost low, like printing a neck tag, inside neck tag, you need to make sure you're gonna buy the tearaway neck tag.
I see.
The tearaway tag actually. And then you're just gonna pull that out, like rip off. And then afterwards, on the printing process, we're gonna create an inside neck tag print, which is gonna be printing inside. You probably guys have seen it, in different brands. And that's a very low cost way to, brand, make your shirt like retail ready so you can sell it.
Right.
I already went ahead and did it
Cool,
because
cool,
I figured
cool.
probably we wouldn't have much time to do it, you know, but I'll go through all the details on it.
Good. I mean, you have a little time.
Sounds good. We're probably going to do a little bit of the mock-up as well.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet.
So, okay. So this is a neck tag, okay? Usually they are designed to be a one color print, okay? You don't want to waste money on this. There are people who like to just put it like a very standard color, like a light gray that goes well with everything. Or you can either print black and white, or you can match the design. If there's one color you like better in your design, let's say the teal or the orange, you can print the same color on the neck tag.
Right.
Usually I use the light gray. It goes
Nice.
well with the whites and the black shirts as well.
Right, right.
So basically, for you that didn't understand what we're talking about, the inside neck tag, this
I'll
is
show
an
you.
inside neck tag, okay? That's where you're gonna find the washing instructions, you know. Usually they have the size of the shirt. Either you can, you know, show as just XS, extra small, or you can either write extra small,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
choice.
but sometimes I like to be a little bit creative because that counts. It's a branding. You want your shirt overall to look cool and good,
Yeah.
you know. So then here you go. I created a Creative Cloud plus Doug,
Doug.
t-shirt design project, you know. And then also I stated all the size that probably gonna be printing on. Which, by the way, the winner gotta let us know what size it is.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to grab your size.
Usually the size go from extra small to, you know, double XL. It's very uncommon 3XL, 4XL. I know there are people that out there that use that.
Right.
But
Depends what brand too. Brands
Yeah.
carry different sizes.
so yeah, so if you want to be safe, just add those in there and then you're gonna be good. Those are the files you always gonna have, you know, every time you're gonna send your order or your design into production. And then plus those classic, you know, icons where it says, you know, wash in warm water, you know, 30 degrees or low, tumble dry, you know, don't ironing or don't remember this one. Actually.
Just a box with a lid.
Yeah, so it's kind of tricky sometimes, but if you Google it or even go to the Adobe stock, you might find, you know, the inside neck tags icons, and you can find anywhere actually.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I did like in the past for my clients, so I saved them as like, you know, on my library on CC, so I just pull them in.
Easy.
Yeah, really easy. And in the bottom, you can, you know, kind of specify or like, you know, translate what those icons means, like, you know, tumble dry low, wash
Yeah.
in warm water, whatever, don't dry, whatever. But in this case, I just put a turning side out to protect print and ornamentation.
Sure.
So basically it's a way, you know, to keep your design with the longer life.
Yeah. So I noticed that you outlined all the shapes.
It's
even though it
already
was
outlined,
text. Right. Why is
but-
that?
Because it's already like transparent. They'll like see if I put it like right here, you know, everything's knocked out, good to go. That's what you want. So one shape.
Yes.
Okay. But you know, it's basically like text work. So like it's a non-structured workflow. So
Yeah. So it's live up there.
it's live right here. I can edit anytime. You know, change it. And here are the icons. You know. So that's it. That's, you know, things that you need to make sure you have it in order to make the product look like at least, you know, marketable, profitable, you know, and all that.
Right.
Yeah, you know, between the competition.
Totally. Claire's wondering, I'm sure somebody already asked, but what is the color of the t-shirt body? That's off-white?
It's gonna be like the cream off-white,
Yeah.
a very light off-white. That's what we're gonna look for.
Right.
I wanted to give this pastel color kind of to be friendly, you know, positive and, you know, kind of vintage as well.
Right. And you'll notice, Claire, that he built the illustration with that as the background so that he could design his piece using white as one of the colors.
Correct. Need to take consideration the garment in question when you've been in design already.
Totally.
Yeah. One thing to also is important to know is once you're done with your neck tag is the size. You know, usually the size of the neck tag is about, I would say, 275 wide, you know, 2 and 3/4. And that's gonna bring the design up to 3.5 inches tall. That's a pretty good size design. You know, if you're not sure about sizing, I would say put in a paper and print.
Yes.
On a printer, normal printer, and you'll see the real size. If you can read everything, perfect.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. In this case, I'm gonna make it like I'm gonna keep it 275.
It's so funny. This is such a t-shirt designer thing. Like,
Yeah. Well, because I've been working so much with it that I know, like, I have, like, I know how it looks on my fingers. I have all, you know, the comparisons. So what I do, how to bring all of them the same size, I select the one that I changed it. I copied the height. Select all of them, and I go on the height, paste it, enter.
Yes.
So everything shrinks to the same height.
And since the dimensions are linked, the width will change in proportion to the height.
So everything is here. We're good to go.
And Jan Erik is saying the text will be stitched. No, it will also be printed.
Yeah, everything is printed. Okay. You can mix and match the process. You can do like a left chest, like embroidery, and then something big printed on the back, or however you want to do it. If the shop you're gonna go with allow that. But I also don't actually recommend, because usually people like either just embroidered or just printed. I agree. For sure.
Yeah. Jose is wondering, do you ask for a test print before you sell any of your t-shirt designs? Or do you get a test print anyways?
I don't, but some of the shops that you go and have your stuff printed, they offer a pre-press check.
Right.
So basically they let you know to come with like an hour and a half prior to they set everything up.
Yeah.
And then you can actually see the first heat of the inks right there on the first shirt, you know. But usually they print either in one of your garments that you kind of give, like, you have a margin, it's like about 3% of, you know, loss.
Yeah.
So if you're providing, like, say 10 shirts, it's good to have like a couple extra, just something happens. Or they have a palette, which is like it's a type of like material. Okay, it's almost like paper, but it's almost like cotton as well.
Yeah.
And they do the test print right there.
Gotcha.
And if everything looks good, you right there, you can say good to go. But if you're doing from far away, like online printing, they usually do just like a digital mock-up.
Right.
It's kind of impossible to send something to print. It takes away the whole production time. It's complicated. So answering, I will do sometimes.
Yeah.
Almost never. So, you know, I'll make sure my design is good to go to the way I want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and do all the work up front so nothing gets messed up.
Yeah, if you have any question about like sizing placements, grab a ruler, lay your chest, you know. You know, one of those like stick papers, the big ones, I know they are 3x3.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a good, or even a business cards, I know it's at 3.5 by 2 inches tall. So I use that for reference.
Gotcha.
It's a good way to work with.
Smart.
Yep. So I'm just gonna
duplicate the whole artboard.
Yep. And I'm just gonna place the net text right there so we can save this file.
Bada bing, bada boom.
There we go. And we're good. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and look for something to mock it up on Adobe Stock.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
I was waiting for this the whole time. So you're up top in your little browser in Illustrator, and it opened up
On top right?
Yes. So what did you search? T-shirt mock-up?
T-shirt mock-up, yes. And then I know that, you know, Adobe Stock is full of them right now. It's so cool, guys. Usually we do the mock-ups on Photoshop, and that's where we're gonna transfer our design to. And the cool thing about downloading these mock-ups on Adobe Stock is it has like a specific layer that's automated completely.
Yeah,
so basically you copy and pasted the design on this layer and saved it, and we'll transfer like perfectly to the shirt, like with all the dimensions.
Yeah,
and
the wrinkles.
Everything. It looks amazing. So we can't just like pick any of them. I think I like the one on the top. What do you think? This one?
Yeah, simple, clean, nice.
Yeah. So we're gonna get that one, and there we go.
And then open. Perfect. So yeah, Adobe Stock is just a great way to get mockups. You can download images for stock images that you might need. You can also download 3D objects if you're interested in building your own mockup in Adobe Dimension.
I was about to say that.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't know that software until like actually I got all the apps, and then it's amazing. Like that
It's
you
so
create
easy.
a whole realistic, really It's really cool.
Right, so you can get a 3D model of an object, say a coffee cup, drop your logo on top of it, change the lighting. You can download new lighting. It's really awesome. So that is with your CC subscription, and we're actually going to be covering Dimension in a couple weeks. Some product design.
That's really cool. All right, so I'm opening. I open with my Adobe Photoshop. Just to be safe, I'm going to download it as well.
Nice. Sounds good. Furkan is wondering, how long does it take start to finish for you to design a t-shirt to get it printed?
So it all depends. I like it, to take some time into it, but usually it takes me about like a week or so. It all depends the style of the design that I'm gonna do as well, Like if I'm like this one is gonna be something about like 5 days. It took me to do all that. If I'm not rushing, but like something less colors, less drawing, if you're gonna use like a text, it's of course way less. It all depends.
Just like a simple little phrase on the left chest or something.
Yeah. So 1 second, guys. I clicked like multiple times in this.
So you downloaded the licensed version, right? Not just a preview?
Yeah, I got the license.
Cool. Fingers crossed that it works.
So let's see.
Yeah, JC, you should definitely try out Dimension. It is awesome. And in just a couple weeks, we'll be covering it. So if you want to come back, you definitely should. What's up, Josello? Thank you for joining us. If you want to check out the live streams that you might have missed today, make sure you check out the replay tab above the player. It's our new way for you to check out the streams that you might have missed while you're at work or school or what have you. They're all there. You can also check out the schedule to see what will be coming next. So if we look at my computer, see that we will have some Premiere and After Effects and character animator stuff, Audition, coming next week. So multiple apps covered. Really cool. You can see Doug right here now playing. So cool.
Yeah. So I think I got one that was more like Adobe Illustrator.
Oh, so we want a Photoshop one.
Yeah, I want a Photoshop one.
Cool.
Sorry, guys.
No worries. Take your time.
Sure.
Chat, if you got any more questions. We've got about 10 minutes until we're going to be starting our portfolio reviews. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that is what we were doing today for the last segment of the stream. We're going to be reviewing 2 portfolios. You can submit it over here in the portfolio review tab. Go ahead and submit your Behance portfolio. Make sure it's totally filled out, that it is ready to be reviewed, full of projects geared towards illustration. So we'll be looking through your projects. We'll be looking through your About Me, your contact information, just trying to give you some feedback to make it really, really enticing to future clients. Oh, JC's gonna be there in a couple weeks when we cover Dimension. Awesome. So this is an Illustrator mockup, and it's very different from a Photoshop mockup.
Yeah. Actually, let's see if we can just like get this one real quick.
Sure. Yeah, you could open Photoshop and access stock through there.
Yeah, I think it'll be easier, right?
Let's try that.
All right.
Jan Erik says, it's 1:20 a.m. in Norway. I can barely keep my eyes open. Go to sleep, my friend. You need it to stay alive.
Yeah.
It's only about 4:30 in San Francisco. In the afternoon, evening. Anybody else staying up super late to watch Adobe Live? Let us know.
I think if I search as a t-shirt mockup, PSD, right?
Yeah, let's try it.
There's a few of them.
Simple, nice. Let us out.
So let me see here. I want to see the details. What is this?
Ooh, Carlotta, it's 1:22 there. So you must be in a similar time zone as Jan Erik.
All right, let's try this one.
Cool. It's an interesting color of t-shirt.
Yeah, we might be able to change it though.
Yeah, totally. It's late in Portugal. Totally. The good old drama is here late, but it's because he's an insomniac. At least you know. Oh.
Weird stuff. Come on.
Yuck. That's funny.
Nectar. All right. So I think the PSD is coming.
Cool. And even if we can't find a mock-up for an inside neck tag, we might just be able to drop it into the mock-up. Put them all in one.
All right.
Yay!
Cool.
We got
so
it.
yeah, that's a really basic markup, but it will work. It will give you an idea how
Totally.
it's gonna look at. So first of all, we want to change that, color, which is, let me see. There we go. We want something like the tan, so we're gonna bring that.
Something slightly off-white, a little creamy.
Okay.
They just have to make it difficult, don't they?
Yep. that's the way to go. Okay.
Oh.
This one is a little bit like full of
Interesting
details.
options.
Yeah. Okay. It's a color overlay, probably.
Oh, cool.
Nope.
Nope. Would we be able to just draw, like with the brush tool? Maybe just fill it in?
I don't think so because, let's see here.
Oh.
There we go.
Sweet. Oh, that's all right, Tima. Tima's been drawing all of the streamers today, but didn't have time to do this stream. Next time, Tima. Thanks for all your hard work and your awesome submissions.
Okay, that's something we're gonna do right here. So that's what I was saying. Like, if you click twice on the, that logo right there, probably would open a new, window, and you can just drop your logo right there. But in this case, we're just gonna turn off that.
Yeah, and that layer was acting as a smart object.
Smart object, yes.
So if you save it, it'll automatically update in the mockup.
Correct. So what you do, which works really well. You Command C your whole design. Okay, and just go back to Illustrator to Photoshop, and just paste it. I'm just gonna go ahead and paste as pixels because I'm not gonna do any change probably.
Right, and it's already too big, so it doesn't matter.
So, okay, weird reference, but that's what we use a lot on screen printing. A size from nipple to nipple, a mid-sized person is about 10 inches wide.
Oh,
okay, so yeah, so we use that because all the, these mock-ups, they're not realistic. Like, they don't obey the right, dimensions, the shirt. Even more when you, buy a type of shirt, depending on the brand, they differ on sizes as well. So let's go this way. That's how it's gonna look on our shirt probably. That's how big it's gonna be.
Cool.
If you wanna look a little bit, let me see if I do a multiply over here.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go without the multiply. Yeah. So that's it. That's the mock-up. The thing about the mock-up is it's always good for the company that will be printing the design to kind of send the client to give you an idea how big, not 100% accurate, but like close to the size you're going to be printing the design, and also for them as a guideline, so that way they they can see where it's going to be the placement and what's the color is going to be used.
Right. So does this have to be super accurate? Or it's just more for, like you said, a guideline?
Yeah, it's more like a guideline, because, there's so many variables that actually, you can't just make so perfect,
Right. Just like make it look like this, match it as best as you can.
Yeah.
Cool. We've got Addie in the chat. What's up, girl?
Go, babe. Hi, babe.
So supportive. I love it.
Yeah. So right here, I'm just going to make a quick mask. Okay. So maybe we can just add our, inside neck tag. It might be a little bit off place, but that's what we have right now.
Right. This is just a mock-up. It'll be all right.
Yeah. And then I'm using the pen tool, so just line inside the, create a little shape inside of the shirt right there. I create a new layer already. Sometimes what I do is like I go to path right here and I create a selection right away.
Nice. And
then people actually create a mask right away from it, but I don't. I just pick the color of the shirt and print it. Okay. Then what I do is I create another layer on top of it. It's just because it's quicker for me.
This is just your workflow.
It's my workflow, yeah. Then I pick the design, the neck tag we want it, copy, go back, paste it. Okay. That's about the size we're gonna have them, neck tag printed.
Cool.
Okay, it's all black, so black is good. You can multiply, just make sure, get rid of the, the white peaks around the design. And then that's the trick. I know the neck tag is on top of the, solid shape we created. So if you go in between the layers right here, hold Option, you're gonna insert that top layer inside the bottom layer. So basically like this.
Inside the parameters of it.
Yeah. So let me see here. What happened?
And what happened?
Okay, my bad. Gotcha. I got what happened. It's because I created a new layer and I pasted it, so it creates a new layer automatically.
When you paste, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. My bad, guys. There you go. It's right there.
Clap, 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 clap.
Okay. What you can do a little bit is like make it a little darker, just to give the idea, or even like just multiply.
Oh, perfect. Got a little shadow in there. It's good to go.
Yeah. Make this a little smaller. I'm gonna put a little play this higher so we can see there's a neck tag right there. And there we go. We have like a full-on mock-up right here.
Yay! And a few of you lucky chat members are going to be able to wear it when we get it printed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we get to go. That's our design. I hope You guys liked it.
High five. You did it. Oh, that was probably really loud. And
Yeah.
right on the deadline, too.
Woo,
As you're getting
good job.
A little applause from Paco over
Thank you,
there,
Paco.
from Gus back there.
Thank you.
Yay. So that was the mock-up, and you started from totally beginning your illustration to here, and maybe we'll come back after we do the reviews and kind of walk through your whole process.
Just being fancy right now.
Little angle.
Let's go.
That's much better already. That's perfect.
There you go.
All right, so we have two portfolios that we are going to review, but first we need to go to space. Hold your breath, everybody. We go in space.
Awesome.
Woo! Welcome to space. I'm not sure if it's better down or up. What do
You can call me Buzz Lightyear.
To infinity, and I'm taking this off my head now. So welcome to space, everyone. We're going to be reviewing two portfolios while we are up here in the space station. The first one is going to be Bruno Abreu's portfolio. Bruno, are you here? Say hello in the chat. If you are, our real goal with these portfolio reviews is to look at your entire branding that you have on your Behance, your About Me, how you lay out your projects, and just give you some feedback and what you do well and what you can maybe work on. Cool, sound good? And then in about 10 minutes, we'll switch to the next portfolio.
Awesome.
So just looking at this as a whole, what do you think? It looks like he has his own website, so that's awesome.
Yeah, this is important.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool.
And then I do not speak this language, but it looks like he's from Brazil. Oh wait, here
Brazil?
it is.
Yeah.
It says, I'm a visual artist who lives and works in the warm city of Rio de Janeiro,
Yeah.
Brazil.
Yeah, there you go, guys. I'm from Rio originally, but I moved so young to Porto Alegre. So
Right.
It's like the southern state
Oh, gotcha.
of Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, I took my helmet away. Yeah. Like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Susanna says, I would love one of those helmets. Here you
It's
go.
pretty cool.
Take it. But yeah, so it looks like Bruno is an illustrator / fine artist.
From Brazil.
Right. I think it's awesome that you have a website. You have a very simple and kind of punchy About Me, so that's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then what project do you want to jump into first?
I want to. So the ones that caught my eyes was the celestial chart, but the first one with the little guy, that octopus, which by the way I love octopus. It's such a very interesting creature.
Yeah, they're so cool. Okay, so we'll look at both of these.
Okay, sounds good.
So it says over here that Illustrator, Draw, and Photoshop was used to create this. We've got a large finished image. Nice. We have some close-ups.
Close-up details.
Got a sketch. Nice sketch.
Nice sketch. Good job.
Line art. And that's it. How do you feel about the layout
The
of
presentation? Well, so I'm not sure. It all depends, what was your goal into it? If you just want to show your work real quick, or if that was for a client. If that's so, if it was for a client, I would say to specify the client a little bit more, and what was the project for?
Gotcha.
If it was a shirt design, or it's just an illustration, like a personal work. Like I said, usually people nowadays like to see what you can use in your artwork into. Like, for example, work for good ideas, like you can just grab on one of those either shirt mock-ups and create a few shirts to see how it will look like on a shirt,
Right.
or even one of those posters mock-up.
Yep.
And make a little environment of the poster hanging on the wall.
Yep.
So that way people who is looking to it, your portfolio, can have a better idea how actually cool your art will look anywhere.
Yeah.
So That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he says, I'm missing mockups, I know.
Yeah, pretty easy to find online.
Yeah, totally. And I think this piece of this project is the most successful piece because I think context is the name of the game.
Yes.
Mockups are context. This shows context.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I like that shot right there too.
Yeah, I really like how this is laid out with your sketch and your finished, and you also show your outline mode in Illustrator. But I do have a little issue with these 3 images because I believe they're 100% scale crops of just this. They don't actually zoom in and show you detail shot, and that's really what these are for.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
So I like the idea, but I'm not sure if you need them. Also because you offer such a large version of it that you don't really need these detail shots.
If you happen to finalize all this artwork on the Photoshop, make sure to make it big. Okay, really big. So that way when you crop it, you have room to zoom in.
Yeah, crisp things. And I also noticed that when we open this, I'm not able to see the entire image before the fold or without having to scroll down. So you could export a smaller version, and then with your crops, really you could show these. Yeah,
or like the smaller version can be already a crop of it.
Yeah.
And you can put a title into it. So you kind of, it's like a small website into it. You can make a header with a quick presentation, telling a little bit what's the what the whole project is about.
Yes, totally. But nice color palette. You got the browns and the reds. Octopi are awesome, and I love how you break the silhouette with the tentacles coming over the circle.
Yeah.
Nice job. All right, let's go over to the celestial chart. What's the story here? Ooh, there's definitely a story. It says, last year I had the pleasure to join the celestialchart.com team, and since then we are working together to create some magical things. Since I was a kid, designing the celestial chart was more than work. It was a privilege. Very cool. So that's a great story.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
There's info here about the celestial chart, showing the different magnitudes.
It's almost like an infographic.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And you're explaining how you do it using Autodesk, AutoCAD.
Yeah. So there you go. That's a good presentation right there.
I agree.
You know, step by step, you know, the process.
Yeah, once this extremely precise process was completed, I imported the file into Illustrator and had some fun.
Yeah. It's like intuitive and also, you know, like interactive, I would say.
The result was better and beautiful and better than we hoped to achieve. And you can buy it on Amazon and eBay. That's awesome. You're pointing them to where they can purchase it.
So one thing I would say is nowadays people work with a lot of the background. So instead of you just, you know, putting piece of your art by blocks, make look appealing, you know, work more like the background, the way you know, put your pictures out there. You know, it's very important as well. You know, I like the way you presented this one way better than the other. But like the bottom where you can actually buy all this, you could put a little more importance to it as well.
Right,
you know,
it's really
like
little.
Yeah, you can either like make a background into the space and do cool writing about it, and where you can click it on it.
Right, it's like a hyperlink.
Yeah.
But this is really interesting, and I think that's really cool. It's not just an illustration, it's just a painting. There's a reason behind this.
Yes.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, good work. I like
Cool.
that.
Yeah, good job, Bruno. All right, we have about 5 more minutes, so maybe we can talk about 1 or 2 more. What do you think? Maybe one of these more painterly ones down here?
Yeah, let's try the Lescent.
All right, so this was made in paper, acrylic, and Photoshop.
There we go.
So this is just kind of a 1-image project.
Cool.
I'm not saying that every single project has to have like
Process
sketch and
steps,
process.
yeah.
Like it can just be a standalone piece.
Yeah. When it comes to painting, like if you research a little bit of artists that just paint on Behance, you're gonna see that actually they put like a little bit like of the completion process of the design. Let's say if you start with a sketch, or when you start putting the colors in, or like, you know, Kathleen said, it's not necessary to have all of those, but it's interesting to see kind of like, you know, the background, you know, the backstage of the process, you know. It kind of adds more value to your, you know, piece.
Yeah.
You know.
Right, make it seem like a living thing and not just like a finished image. I think this is where maybe showing like an actual animation of the process would be awesome.
Is there a piece called Maria? That's Bruno's saying go for the Maria.
Go for the Maria. Yes.
Maria.
Cool,
Okay.
but before we leave this one, I got one more thing to say. I think that painting specifically is such a magical thing to people, especially people who aren't painters. They like have literally no idea how you would do this kind of thing, and that's why also I think actually showing your motion would be cool.
It's not easy though. Like it's a lot of skills you need right there, you know, to work with the tools.
Yes. All right, Maria. All right, got a dark background. That's cool.
See, I like it. That's interesting already.
Part of the power figures. Mary was never noble, but by acclamation became queen. Really nice. It looks like an Egyptian bust, like Nefertiti.
Yeah. I like the colors. I like the, you know, the vector type of art.
Yeah, it's well designed. It's a good composition for sure.
We're probably gonna say the same thing again. The crops wasn't again to the, you know, it was kind of the same size. When you full screen, it looks a little better though.
Yeah, right.
Because.
But here it just resizes it to full size. I don't know if you necessarily need this as a crop.
Yeah, the background.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool like little image, a cool design.
Oh, there it goes. A little bit of the, you know, the lines.
It's always cool to see the outline mode. Some context. This is great.
I think it's Command Y, right?
Yes, Command Y will show you the outlines. So he shows context or a mock-up, but I think this is a real photo.
On sketch on iPad. Beautiful.
Really nice. Oh, and more mock-ups. Look at this.
No, there you go, man. Yep.
Yeah, and this is a good choice of a mock-up photo because it has a lot of dark values, and this is also a very dark image.
See, that's a very nice piece. Now, like, see, we don't understand the story that's has on the back, you know, like what you're trying to achieve. But now, seeing by the wall as a poster, man, that will look in my house. Look good in my house, you know, like
totally.
That's what I was talking about. Adds value to the piece.
Yeah,
it's
nice
amazing.
job, Bruno. Thank you so much for submitting. And let's move on to our next option. This is Carlotta Novo. So Carlotta lives in the Netherlands. Let's see, it looks like she has her own website as well. Has a nice about me, graphic designer and illustrator with a huge motivation to improve skills and keep learning every day. I consider myself a creative person, and enthusiastic about what I do and responsible with my work. Feel free to contact me anytime. Nice work experience down here. A couple different links going different places.
That's cool.
And you've been a member of Behance for a long time. That's awesome.
Yep.
All right. So where do you want to go in first?
So I've seen that she actually has a lot of pair work right there, which is pretty cool. Also, like, there's some soccer design right there, which I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
And a lot of skateboarding.
Some Vans.
That's really cool. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So business cards, mock-up, that's pretty cool. I want to see a little bit of everything, logos. But let's, this one caught my attention. Do you mind if we see that one?
Skate like a girl.
Yeah.
I love this.
Look at that logo. That's amazing.
All right, Skate Like a Girl and Skater Girls. The project was due to a lack of women in the skateboarding industry. Beauty standards are overrated, and nowadays many women don't want to look like princesses, but like fighters. Awesome.
Cool.
And then, going back to just this really quick, it looks like you are selling these mock-ups, which is really cool. So you use your own mock-up, and then you provide it for others to use.
It's amazing. That's really cool.
Different designs.
Yeah. I love that logo though.
Makes me want to know how to skateboard.
There you go. Those are the screens for screen printing.
Hey.
See how does it work?
Sweet.
The motion, you know. That one color print.
This is awesome. I think one of my favorite parts about this is that you don't just show the design like boom boom as vectors. You always show them in context.
Yeah.
I mean,
in action.
You do show this one, but it's not the very first thing that you see. Got a little bit of color, and there's also
there you go.
Process video. Are you doing this in your own bathroom at home? That's so cool.
In a kitchen. Laundry room.
Very nice. So what do you think Carlotta could do to make this stronger?
So I think the idea is out there already. Like you have good, pieces to show.
Right.
I think you could work a little bit off the layout. That's all. I think how one picture is bigger than the other. It start narrowing down.
Right.
I believe it's because of the size of the picture. So make sure to create everything. Like what I do is like every time I gonna post a project on Behance, I have a template. I create a Photoshop template because I like the full screen effect.
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes instead of you creating like piece by piece, like separately, you can make like a longer piece where you can overlap things or work with environments. And also like I try to present things with the same full width, to be kind of seamless,
Yeah. So this is all one image?
No, these ones are separate ones, but also you can use, I'm saying you can stack those because how I measure is by the screen. So basically you took a print and shrink down a little bit and you can stack them up.
Right.
And then let's say 3 screens measures. And then you know that if you have this long page to work on, you can, have multiple information there, multiple projects, and then you can layer them, put stuff on the front and put something behind it, and then when you scroll down, it's gonna look like a one piece with multiple, projects in it. So
very cool.
I've seen a lot of people doing this nowadays, like taking the game to the next level. It's looking really good.
Yeah, but Carlotta, you have all of the pieces.
You do have, Good job.
All right, so we did apparel design. Maybe we can do a little bit of her graphic design.
Yeah.
Maybe in one of these. Let's see, it's a book.
It's a book. I like the colors.
Good texture. Let's see if there's...
Where's Carlotta from again?
It says she's in the Netherlands right now, but it seems like maybe not originally.
Yeah. That's very like Brazilian though, the colors.
Yeah. So these are really nice mock-ups. I'm sure this talks about the story.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. Here's the Spanish.
Gotcha.
I understand, but it's pretty cool. Some editorial design.
Yeah, some wayfinding.
Yeah. Mag.
See, I think this is a really great example of what you're just talking about. All the images are the same width, it flows, and it goes from actual book to photos to other things.
What people are doing nowadays, for example, if you go back to the book right there, if you create a whole, like I said, the whole page on Photoshop, you can actually slide that book, if you crop it, a little bit over one of the pictures.
Oh.
So that way you have that like overlay effect sometimes. Or even if you like the white background's beautiful, but you could make a little like, put a little bit more of white. So that way you could write a little bit about the book, or, throw some details, small images on the side.
Yeah.
And like I said, overlay always work great.
Carlotta says that she is from Spain, but living in the Netherlands.
Oh, nice, Spain.
Well, this guerrilla marketing is awesome.
Awesome. Oh, look at that. Amazing, beautiful. It's very street art.
Yes, that little guy.
Yeah.
Love it. Cool, I think this is a really cool project too.
Filling up the cracks with color. It's amazing. Good job.
Nice. And the little detail at the end.
Beautiful.
Very
Love
cool. Nice job, Carlotta.
Really
Great
good.
portfolio. Like we've been saying, you have all the pieces. Let's just scan through one of her illustrations like in 1 minute.
Yep.
All right, portrait of World Cup champion and Olympic soccer gold medalist Kelly O'Hara. Sports brand Under Armour Women's History Month. Perfect.
Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, this is really nicely drawn. The technique is good, and then you also have these very graphic elements of the shapes that she's navigating through.
That's the movement right there. And the whole design is kind of like mapping.
Yeah.
The whole shading like mapped out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice job. And it does just have the image, and it has a little bit of the story. But I think it works pretty simple. Cool, great job, Carlotta, and great job to everyone else that we have reviewed all day. Thank you so much, everyone, for submitting. It is very brave of you. I hope our feedback helped you. It's always really inspiring for us to see your work. So we have about 5 minutes left. Maybe we can go back down to Earth, go back down to your iPad, and you can talk about what you've done day 1, day 2, day 3.
Awesome. First of all, thanks all of you guys for watching all of this. You know, it's been such a pleasure, honor to share my work with you guys and somehow help.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys have any questions, just hit me up on Behance, Instagram, whatever. I'll be glad to help. So basically, day 1, we went through sketch. The sketches process, picking the right concept and the whole arrangement of the design, the composition. And day 2, we move forward with day 1, we still did the outline, the line work as well. So once we were done with that, we moved to day 2, and we did a little bit of the fine details, and we picked the color palette, and we start adding, start adding all the colors. And then today we have a little recap of the colors. We did a little, fix here and there. We even asked you guys to help us decide if we needed the shader or not.
Yeah.
And I think the design turned out great. I'm so excited about the design. This is one thing I was telling since the beginning. Is like, you gotta have fun, man. Whatever you do, you gotta put your soul into it. Like, have fun. Try to do the best you can. And it's better for you guys to create something every day, even if it's not good.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, not good. But what I'm trying to say is, like, create something every day, even if it's a little piece of like sticky note.
Yeah.
You're gonna involve that idea later, or it's gonna lead to another different idea, and then when you see it, you're like already on the computer finalizing a great idea.
Yeah.
So just keep moving, keep creative, and that's it. Today we finalized the design, and I'm excited to see how that shirt is gonna turn out.
Right.
And I hope the winner enjoy it. And we finalized a little bit of the mock so you guys can see how it look like. And that's it. That's the final design right there.
So cool. Going to be on kind of a cream, vintage, off-white background. Yep. It'll fit really well across all different sizes.
Yep.
Super excited to see. So where can everyone find you on the internet so that they can follow your work?
So I'm more active on Instagram, so you guys can, look up for me right there. It's at symbol Doug MEG _ or Instagram.com/Doug MEG _ I'm pretty active right now in there. Even if I'm not posting, I'm actually checking most of the times. I use Instagram to check on references. I follow my artists. I have them as with the post notification on all the time.
Cool.
That's a little trick for references as well. You find the good artists, the artists you like, turn those post notifications on. So every time they post something, your phone is gonna let you know.
Yeah, immediately.
And then you keep up with the trend. You can be the first one to like it or to see it.
Yeah.
So you keep up with the progress, in the evolution of your favorite artists. Find me there, or find me on Behance, which is behance.net/DougMG.
Yes, DougMG everywhere.
Yeah, but this one is without the underscore.
Yeah, right.
Instagram was taken already.
Darn, Doug.
Yeah. And any support, we all artists here trying to make a living and
be nice,
help
everyone.
the community and help each other. There's, it depends on us, and we need the help of each other.
Totally. Thank you, everyone, for being here, being so kind. We're going to be back next week, Tuesday through Thursday, covering Character Animator, Premiere, After Effects, all kinds of good things from NAB. So we'll be live at 9 a.m. next week. And if you want to come back to the Creative Cloud YouTube channel at 6 p.m. tonight, you can learn a little bit more about Illustrator and ask questions there. All right, everyone, have a great weekend, and maybe see you tonight.
Thank you. See you guys.
Bye.
Everyone. Till next time.